Hello everyone. AI hasn't taken over the world yet in 2025, but can it at least build a full web application in under 30 minutes? I'm Yaman and today I will put that to the test. We will be using a combination of tools to create the wireframes, to create the code for our project, and then we will clone everything locally and try to run it with a database as well. The website we will be building is called Tech Bytes, and it's for local tech meetups. So it's a landing page where you can see the events that's happening soon, maybe past events. And also we have an admin panel for the admins to manage those events. Post a new event, delete one, or edit one, for example. So we'll have authentication, authorization, connection to a database. So it's a full web application. It's a real world application. The 30 minutes would include even the time that the AI would take to respond to our messages, so the generation time for those prompts. Okay, then let's start. We will start by using a tool called Relume, and you are free to use whatever you want. If you have the Figma AI enabled, you can use that as well. I'm using the free version of Relume, which is enough for this purpose. So I'll create a new project, and then I don't want to invite anyone. I will just start building, and yeah, let's give a prompt. So to the left side, I will say, create a landing page for a local tech meetup website called Tech Bytes. Let's say it should include hero section, which is the main section, then maybe events section, and a team section. I think that's enough. So let's generate the sitemap. So it will start by creating the main sitemap for the website, and then we can go from this to the wireframe. So if we can check the sitemap, we see it created the hero section, events list, and team section as we asked for. So then we can go to the wireframe tab, and we can see it started creating stuff. So it's drafting the main wireframe for our website. We have a hero section, it's creating the events section, and we have a team section. So I think in the free version, we cannot export this as an image. So what we are going to do is we are just going to take some screenshots from those. So I'm going to take a screenshot for the main section. I'm going to create a screenshot for the events section. And I'm going to create a screenshot for the team section. And basically that's it. That's all what we need from this tool. We just want something from wireframes. You can even draw this on paper and then upload it to V0, which is our second tool. So we'll give the same prompt actually. So create, but before we do this, let's create a project. And projects in V0 are some type of containers that you can create a project where you can get all your files and then download the code base. You can deploy even that to Vercel and so on. So we will call it Tech Bytes. And I will give it Tech Bytes 3 because I already had some experiments doing this in previous sessions. So I'll create the project. And it's that easy. Now we can just give a prompt. So we will tell it the same thing, but first we will upload the screenshots we just took. So this one, and this one, I'll just add here, and then I'll say create a website for tech meetups website called Tech Bytes. And let's say it includes hero section, events, and team section. We are just providing the same prompt basically. What else? I think that's it. Let's tell it to maybe create some animation in the hero section. Create an animation in the hero section. And that's it. I would prefer to start with some easy prompt so we don't overwhelm the tool. Once we have the main code generated, then we can keep asking for some adjustments. So I clicked enter. Now it will be generating something. It will analyze the images I uploaded, and then it should create the landing page in the same way wireframes basically. And we can see that V0 is thinking. The nice thing about V0 is that you have two sections. On the left side, you can see what it's doing. So it's drafting some components. It will tell you how it's thinking. And on the right side, so on the left side it's thinking. On the right side, you have the editor. In the editor, you have three tabs. You have the code, where you can see all the components it's creating. You can see the console, where it's the browser console basically. And then you can see the preview. You cannot see the preview while it's adjusting and editing the code. Once it's done, it will show you the preview. So V0 is really great by organizing and separating things into components. It uses ChatCN as a UI library, and it uses Next.js by default. You can ask it to create a separate React component without using Next.js, but this is what it does best. So it creates really nice Next.js projects. It knows how to do everything with Next.js, even the latest APIs that are coming from Next.js. And then you can preview everything in the same place. So we are waiting for the preview, and we can see it created really nice thing that looks similar to the mockup we just provided. So let's see. So I don't see those are like doing anything. So what we can do is we can click on this select button, select this section, and we can give a prompt in the tool itself. So I can say, make this functional to filter the event. And we can wait. So I don't have to describe that this component exists in the events section, create the filters or how to do it. I can just select that component and then give the prompt in the browser itself, which is really cool. So this tool is really powerful on the UI side. It has some issues when you start connecting some backend APIs, especially in this preview tab, because it doesn't support all the libraries. For example, if you are using Prisma, which we will be using later, it doesn't support that. So let's see. It's starting doing something on the events component, and you can see it only targeted this one. It doesn't rewrite the whole thing. It tells you what it's doing, and it's really great in that sense. And then after it's done, I can show you how it tells you what lines even it did edit. So you can see it's similar to the Git version control system. So you can click on this show difference, and it tells you what it does. See here. So you already have this. So now we can see this is functional. It even added some type of animation. You can see like how the things are looking. We can open this in a new tab if you want, and we can see it on a bigger side. Even the hero section, if we reload the page, you can see it's fading in some nice way. So it has some animation. So this looks really nice. I think we are done with the landing page. I'm happy with that. So let's ask it to do something else. What we want to do is create an API. As we said, we want to build a full web application, not only a static website, which is easy. Many websites can do this. So let's ask it to create APIs for the events management. Use mock data for now, and connect the APIs to the client. I think this is enough. I don't want to complicate it, so let's see what it would come with, and then we can start from there as well. So it's thinking. We can see the code generation happening here. Now it will start drafting once it's done thinking. So it created some API routes for the events, and we can see it created some mock events as we asked for. We have some GET requests to get the list of those events. It even added some filters, I think, with the category that is getting in the search params. I didn't even ask for that, but it's cool that it's fetching based on the category from the APIs. We can still see actually those are working, and when we click on one new category, you can see it's loading events. So that's nice that it's not loading everything. initially and then filtering those on the client, it's filtering those on the server actually. So that's really cool. I'm happy with that. Let's ask it for maybe to create an admin page. So create an admin dashboard page to manage the events. Create, edit, and delete. We can say for now also use mock data. So far we only have this, which is cool. So let's see how it would create the admin page. I really like the idea that you can see the difference. The problem with a tool like ChatGPT or Copilot, for example, whenever you ask for a change, it rewrites the whole thing, and then you need to either copy the whole thing, replace it, or try to compare and find out what did it change. Here you can see the difference. It separates the components. For example, we asked for a page, it could have just created a route and added everything there. No, it went to components. It even created a subfolder called admin to add the admin dashboard component and fetching the events from the APIs. That's really cool that you can use this code later to organize and like scale this project up. It's not just a code that's coming from a low code tool that you just take it and use it. You cannot really adjust it much because it's not scalable. This is a really nice organization of the code. So let's see if it works. So I think it created the, okay, it created routes. No, this is for the APIs. So we have something, a route called API. If you know some Next.js, that would really help. So if I go to the admin page, it's loading something. Okay, so we have some error fetching. And we can give it that actually. But let's see this page. So it's going to the admin dashboard, this one, and it's fetching the events from the API events, which is this one. I think the problem is it's not sending the category, or if it doesn't send the category, then it returns the whole list of events. That sounds good. So what's the issue? I think we can just give that to v0. The admin page, I'm getting this one. So let's see if it can fix it. It would be easier for me to open it in a new tab as we did before, and then check the network tab. So I can debug this as well. So if I go to the network, let's see what's happening. So we can see the events request is returning some 200 response, but yeah, it's not the correct one. Okay, so it's making some adjustments in the API or like in the admin dashboard component. That's nice. Actually, in the landing page, it created something which is, I think, in the events section. So it created the same thing to fetch the events. I think the only difference is here it's passing the category and there it's not. So let's just wait for it to finish updating this one. It's stuck for some reason, so let's stop the generation and ask it to regenerate. Or we can actually go to the previous version, which is version 4, and Okay, we have that. I think this one is the one we had the issue with the fetch. Yes, cool. Let me ask for something else. We can fix this later with a different one. So what I will do is create a login page, for admins. For now, I will use mock data as well. Use mock login data. So username, admin, password, admin. Use nextauth, which is the library from Next.js to handle authentication, basically. And basically, that's it. Make the admin page accessible only for signed in users. And let's see. So it's telling us that, for example, if we already cloned this locally, that we need to install the nextauth, but here it will do it for us. So it will do this. It's rewriting the admin dashboard component even. It wrote the nextauth configuration. We can see that it made this condition as we asked for, that the credentials, username and password are admin, and it's returning some example user, for example. So it added the session provider even, it added that to the layout and so on. And we have some error. We can do is fix with v0 and do this. And this is nice. Once you have error in the console, then you can actually just say fix with v0, and sometimes it can fix it. Many times you need to take this locally and try to fix it yourself as well. But so far, so good. I think we can, from now on, just clone this whole thing. Okay, let's wait for it to fix this one, and then we can clone it. So it did something. It's telling us we need to add those as environment variables, which makes sense, yes. The nextauth URL and nextauth secret. So seems like we have some issue with the nextauth module. I don't care about this now. We can fix that later. Let's clone this locally. Or before this, let's tell it to create a Prisma schema for our events. Create Prisma. So Prisma is a library where you can connect your database. It's a management system for database in JavaScript, basically, and TypeScript. So create Prisma schema for our events and adjust the APIs to work with it. Also, let's create some seeds. Create some seeds for the events. Let's just wait for this response, and then we can clone everything locally. As I said, once you start introducing nextauth and Prisma, the preview tab stops working. So we just need to work with it. So yeah, let's wait for the generation of Prisma schema, and then we can take everything locally. For nextauth problem, usually if you deploy to Vercel, for example, you have here on the corner the deploy button, which will deploy the whole solution to Vercel, it will start working. How you can add, for example, it told us here to add the nextauth secret and nextauth URL is you go to the project settings, and then you have the environment variables, and you add it here. You add the key and value, and then you have it in the project. Anyway, this wouldn't affect much, actually, the preview in the v0 itself, but once you deploy to Vercel, it would work that way. The project settings here will be synced with the Vercel one automatically. So it's updating the package JSON. We already have the big project here. So, okay, that's nice. It's updating the admin dashboard again. To be honest, usually I prefer to take everything locally from when I create the UI because that's more stable. Once you start introducing those stuff without having a preview online, it starts to crash, and then when you download the whole thing locally, you need really to try to figure everything out. If you clone from the beginning and then start introducing piece by piece, then that's really easier to debug in general. It's still generating this one. Okay, so we have it. We have everything here. Let's just... It's still doing something, I think. Okay, let's clone everything, which will download the zip file. You can even use this tool in your terminal to download the project. Then I have this zip file here. I'll just open it. And I have the project files. So let me go to Visual Studio Code. I will open this one. I will open a new terminal, do yarn install to install all dependencies. And I will cut the video here because, well, it will take a few minutes, which is not fair in the 30 minutes deadline we put. But before that, I will just create the .env file, and we need the next auth URL. So, which is, well, actually, I don't think we need the URL. I think we need the secret only, which is enough. So let's do the secret. You can generate that in multiple ways. I have this tool, which is called auth secret generator. You can just copy paste. You can put any string there actually. So I'll just put this. I think that's it for our .environment variables. We need one more for the Prisma, which is database URL. You can call it whatever you want as well, because in the Prisma, I think I have the Postgres locally called with my name, and then that's called database tech bytes. I already created something in the BG admin, so it's an empty database that is called tech bytes, and we see we don't have any tables, so it's empty. So if we go to the, not the app, but to the Prisma, then schema.prisma, we can see we have a .env URL. You can rename this as you want. So, and also we need here the provider to be Postgres. And basically that's it. Let's just wait for the yarn install to finish. Okay, so now we have all the dependencies installed. So we will do yarn dev, and let's see what would happen locally. I hope it would work. So we can go to the localhost. It wouldn't work. I think it will crash because of the Prisma, because we still didn't migrate anything in Prisma. So let's see what would happen. It would take some time because it's a dev server. So, okay, we have some issues. It's loading, but we are having some issues in the Prisma because it couldn't find anything. So let's fix that. And how we can fix it is by running the npx Prisma migrate. That will take our schema and apply it to our database to create the events table. So for myself, I need to add one more line because Prisma migrate actually downloads some binary files online, and I have some extra protection in my notebook. So I will do just node tls. I think it was, wait. Yes, not TLS reject unauthorized. Reject, and authorized equals 0, and this will make the Prisma migrate work for me. Wait, actually it's Prisma migrate dev. So what do I have here? Okay, so I had one extra S in the Postgres. So now it's running. I can name this whatever I want. And we can check that in the pgadmin, if we did a refresh, we have the events table here. It's still empty because we need to run the seeds. And I think in the package.json, it created a seed, or it didn't. It didn't, that's fine. So we need, in the seeds for Prisma, we need to go to the Prisma. We can take this one, which is the TS node or like whatever script. You can see either this one, for example. So I will take this. I'll just add it to my package.json. And then I think I need to add the, install the TS node. So I'll do yarn add TS node. And then we can just run the npx prisma db seed. And for the seeds, the Prisma or V0, I think, created a seed file where we have 3 events, and then it just upserting those to the database. So I can run now the npx prisma db seed. Can wait, and it says it's executed, so we can check the table. And we have 3 records here, so that seems accurate. So let's now do yarn dev again. And we can go to localhost. And here in the previous version, it says an error occurred while fetching the events. Please try again later. So let's see. Loading events. It loaded the events from the database. That seems accurate. So, okay, we have something working. So let's go to the admin page. That's true. It should redirect us to the login page. And we said it's admin. Let's do login. And we have the dashboard. As I said, like most of the issues you will have in V0 would work locally or when you deploy to Vercel. The only issue is the preview tab in V0 does not support everything. So we have an admin dashboard. We can see the events list. So let's try to edit this one, for example. Okay, when you click edit, it fills this. It's not the best user experience, but what you can do is create a wireframe or describe exactly what you need from V0, and it will create the admin dashboard however you want. For me, it's fine. It's an admin dashboard to post event. I'll just do this and add one at the end, and let's do update event. And basically that's it. Let's go to the main page again. Well, here we can see in the admin page that it's updated, but in the main page, it's updated. So we already have a meetup website that we can create meetups. Actually, we didn't try the create. Let's do the create. So let's do one more event, which is AI meetup. And let's do test description. Location Prague, for example. Date is, I don't know, next week. And category is seminars. And create event. And we see it's here. We can go to the main page again. And we have it. So yes, it's Prague, it's AI meetup, and it works even with the categories. So we say that's seminar, so we have it here. That sounds cool. So we already logged in. So if I go to the admin page again, we already tried this. I sign out. It redirected me to the login. I cannot access the admin page without a login. And the main page is still accessible by everyone. We have some issues here with the margins or whatever, but those are fine. V0 can fix those easily. What we can do is we can also use the Copilot. For example, let's do the Copilot to do some changes in the team section. So if I go to the team component, which is in the components, and then we have the teams, and I can just do the Copilot. I usually use Copilot locally to do those adjustments. So you can select multiple files in the Copilot window in Visual Studio or whatever you are using. For example, IntelliJ IDEA or whatever. I can ask it to make make it only 2 team members. So now we have 4, which will be just deleting those 2, for example. and what we want to do. So let's see how it previews. For example, let's do, I don't know, let's do those squares, for example, and make the images square shape. Usually for such changes, I wouldn't go to V0 and try to adjust it there. I will just use Copilot locally. It has great features as well. You can ask it, you can chat with it, or it has auto-completion even in the editor itself without chatting. So we see it deleted 2 of those, and it adjusted something. We can do is we can copy this, replace it here, or you can, I think here this one is the apply button, so like it will do it for you. And if we go to the editor, and that works. I think this is responsive as well. Like if we do inspect, we do the mobile view, and you see it's like fully responsive. We have everything here. We can even scroll with those, and that's it. That's a full website with admin dashboard, with everything. Anyway, I think that's all. This is what we promised. We have fully working website with authentication, with an admin dashboard. You can start doing and adding to that. For example, instead of the mock data for the users, we can just go to the Prisma schema and start creating a table for users, for example. And that's really easy by just doing locally even. So doing this and asking the Copilot to make this for you. So like, for example, create model for users table in Prisma, and that should create it. So like you can just copy paste it, migrate the Prisma again, and that's it. It's easy really. Like you just copy this, paste it here, and you can do is just again what we've done just before, which is the Prisma migrate dev, and it will tell us to add a name. I'll say users, and here you have users table with the events table. So you can create seeds for those. You can start fetching the user from database instead of having admin mock like username and credentials, and that's it. Really with this combination of starting the project in V0, creating wireframes, and then coming to the Copilot locally and still working with V0 is really powerful. We were able to generate the whole thing in under 30 minutes. It's working. You can take this and deploy it wherever you want. The nice thing about this tool, compared to other ones that gives you few UI components, is you have full control over the code. It's really nice, organized Next.js project. You can work with that. You can adjust however you want. You can go from there and do great stuff. I would say it's pretty powerful. You still need an experienced developer to be able to work with some of the minor bugs, to be able to debug stuff, and to be able to adjust small things and even know what to ask those tools. I don't think it's like fully AI-powered web application creation, but even with some experience in the Next.js stack, with the JavaScript or whatever programming language, you will be able to navigate easily and create whatever idea, turn your idea or your vision into a code, into a product easily with those tools. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a long video, probably the longest I've ever done. And please, if you like this or if you have any ideas, please let me know.